This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
So the other day, I did a video about an impressionist named John D. Domenico who does Trump. He does Austin Powers and Guy Fieri, you know, the diners, drive-ins, and dives guy. He does a bunch of people, but he's most famous for doing Trump. He's an Emmy-nominated actor, comedian, writer, and impressionist, and he's very funny, fantastic. He's been doing Trump since 2004, so it's not a new thing for him to be doing Trump. He does corporate events. He's just spectacularly funny and talented. And again, I wish that I had a modicum of his abilities. He's been on Conan over 50 times. He's been on Howard Stern dozens and dozens and dozens of times. Jimmy Kimmel, Randy Rainbow. He's done everything. And now he's done this show. He's slumming it with this show. And I'm getting ready to interview, not him, but Donald Trump. So stand by. It couldn't have gone better had it been scripted, and it was in no way, absolutely not was it scripted. So stick around, watch this interview, go subscribe to his channel here on YouTube. He is a delight, and now I can call him a friend of the show. So without further ado, here is my interview with Donald J. Trump, ex-president of the United States of America. So I wish that I could say it was a great honor to speak to the ex-president of the United States, but here I am, quite dishonored. You don't mind if I call you Donnie, do you?
No, I mind. You can call me President or Mr. President or Mr. Trump. But, you know, I would prefer that you make it official. Listen, I don't even want to be here, I have to tell you. But I was told by my advisor, Sebastian Gorka. He said, you got to reach out to the people like you and the David Pacmans and all these people that you're ilk. And I have to come on your shows, even though you're Antifa-loving, left-wing communist, socialist, Marxist communist. But I'm here, and I'll be very patient, and I'm sure it's a big honor for you to have me.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, given that you've not given me permission, I appreciate that, Donnie. Listen, first question right out of the gate is, back in 2017, you blocked me on Twitter, and I'm just curious, being the great alpha man who's not afraid of anything, what exactly was that? What was the reason that you blocked me?
Well, you're expecting me to remember 2017? I mean, come on. I mean, like, be honest. You know, I've done many, many fantastic things since that time. We had the greatest economy in the history of the world. We had I got the serum to the people with the COVID. I did that. You know what I mean? I did many, the economy through the roof. So I can't be expected to remember me. And by the way, I don't block people. Because, you know, I'm a tremendous person. But if I did block you, there must have been a reason for it. You know, I only block people who say nasty, nasty things about me. And you seem like a nice guy. I don't think you would do. What did you say exactly that got you blocked from me?
Something about John McCain having more integrity in his tiny pinky finger than you have in your entire girthy body.
Oh, that probably would have got you blocked. Now that I think about it, yeah.
Listen, you love to talk about your accomplishments. It's like
so many accomplishments. And I just won for the 39th year the champion of all of my golf clubs. Is that incredible? I mean, I should have been a pro golfer, to be honest.
It is indeed unbelievable, as some would say. Let me ask you this. You do like to tout your accomplishments on the golf course and off, and in policy and not.
Women.
You also like to compare yourself to Jesus the Christ,
yes,
the Son of God, according to Christians. What's going on with that?
Well, he's a great guy, fantastic guy, but he was persecuted and prosecuted by so many people who didn't like him. I mean, look at our similarities. He loved money. I love money. He spoke to many, many people. Sermon on the Mount, you know what I mean? He used to stand up there and say things like, you know what? He would say that, the fake news is covering Sermon on the Mount, but they're not going to turn the cameras around and show this fantastic crowd. It's really, really sad. Him and I are so, and by the way, you probably don't know this. Maybe you do, because you seem like a smart guy. Who knows? But the middle name of my father, do you know his name?
It was Christ.
That's right. I'm the son of Christ. Do you see the alignment? This alignment here, I'm the son of Christ. So I'm not, that's why I'm so much like Christ, Christ-like. That's the whole thing.
Adjacent to that, maybe I'll dumb down my vocabulary. Adjacent might be a tough one for you, but
I've done the same thing. That's why I love the poorly educated. I've had to bring because if you look at videos of me from the 80s and the 90s, I use much bigger words, but I had to make them smaller words.
Well, speaking of Christ,
words. And go ahead.
Speaking of Christ and you being the son of Christ,
Son of Christ.
You've said on many occasions that you have many, many Bibles, that people mail you Bibles. I've often wondered about what kind of storage facility you have to store all these Bibles in. But aside from that, can you elucidate me? Can you shine a light on what may be your favorite scripture or quote from these Bibles that you claim to know so much about?
Well, there's so many, and it's so personal. Jesse, the Bible is so I could talk about all the women I've slept with, but the Bible, that's so, maybe, when I watch football, there's a guy holding a sign that says John 3:16 or 3:17 or 3:15. That's a good one. That's a really, Corinthian leathers, number 2. That's excellent. That's a really good one about them. And then what's the one which kind of has all the Sodom and Gomorrah, a lot of the partying. What is that one? That one's a good one. Ezekiel, he makes his own bread too, I found out. So there's so many things in the Bible. It's a cookbook. It's a life lesson. It's stuff that some of the things you can't talk about. You know what I mean? A lot of the stuff about I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get in trouble.
So do you feel it's appropriate to, some would say grift, some would say just act in a Trumpian nature to earn money from selling sneakers and water and vodka and steaks and universities and light fixtures and the Bible itself? You think that's a way to win the hearts of MAGA world?
Absolutely. Jesus sold Bibles. That's how he got around town. He had 12 guys. They all went out. They fanned out. They sold Bibles. I'm just doing what Jesus did. And as far as the steaks, the vodka, the mortgage, the airline, all of these things were so good. They were so successful. We had to discontinue them because we couldn't keep up. We couldn't keep up. It was going that well. And by the way, that's what America is about. America is about business. It's about business. You know what someone once said, and I think it was me, the business of America is business. So selling stuff is okay, and getting money. A lot of people are complaining because I made $3 billion this week on my stock. They say, you shouldn't be running for president if you're getting all this money. But what's wrong with that? Don't you want a rich president as opposed to a poor, bumbling, Biden's walking around the White House right now. Oh, come on, man. Oh, where's your sarsaparilla? Oh, come on, Jack. He doesn't even know where he is. I don't think a lot of people, he's 100. Did you know Biden's 100 years old?
Wow.
And they discontinued his blood type. He has no blood. Biden has no blood, but I have plenty of blood because I'm a stable genius. And they keep my blood at MIT with my uncle's blood, John Trump. He taught there for 40 years. He was a super genius, and I'm a stable genius. And I think that's what we need to fix this country. By the way, this country's falling apart. No one's working. The economy's falling apart. I just made $3 billion, but other than that, it's a mess.
You seem to be very interested in keeping people working, especially within the judiciary. You have 91 indictments across 91 charges across 4 separate indictments. And the latest case in New York with the hush money payment, the $130,000 you paid to Raw Dog, a porn star, and then keep her quiet. What are your feelings on how closely you are to consequences in that case?
Well, first off, you gave a lot of disinformation and a lot of misinformation, but I'm not going to talk about that because that's what you people do. That's what you people do. But, I stood there in front of that judge who hates me. By the way, he's a never-Trumper, Judge Juan Cucaracha. And I stood there and he said, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty? And I said, Judge, I am the least guilty person in the history of guiltiness. I am maximum unguilty, totally unguilty, supremely unguilty. And I have to tell you, the bailiff next to me, big guy, strong guy, tears in his eyes, said, I am the least guilty person he's ever seen in his entire life. And I think he's a bailiff. He would know. But the criminal system is against me. I shouldn't say the criminal system. The judicial system is against me. I have Peekaboo James. I think we know who that is, who ran on getting me, arrested and charging me with this case. This judge, he's very mean. He's going to give me a gag order. He's going to give me a gag order just for simply calling out his daughter and saying where she lives and what she does for a living. What has happened to this country where I can't out or dock somebody? It's sad.
You don't seem to be handling this very well or very presidentially or very adult for that matter. I see your posts on True Social. I see the wild misspellings and incorrect capitalization. You seem unhinged.
I am not unhinged. I'm very, very hinged. I am so hinged. No one is more hinged than me. I practically invented being hinged. I think I'm one of the most hingiest person in the history of hinge. Now, you know who's crazy? Joe Biden. He's walking around in circles in the White House. But is he tweeting at 1 a.m? No, he's probably asleep. I'm up and I'm saying things and doing things, and I can do that because I am a stable genius, and I'm fine, and I'm not angry. I'm just a little irritated by how everyone is taking these laws and using them against me. You shouldn't use laws against somebody like me. Use them against poor people, not against me.
Let me, because my time is limited. I know you have unlimited time to do all kinds of crazy shit.
Well, I have a tea time in like 1 hour. I want
to make sure you get to that.
I'll probably win this round too, by the way.
Let me ask you, you've said on multiple occasions things that are of sexual nature about your daughter, notably that if she wasn't your daughter, you'd probably be dating her. What is it about Ivanka that makes you want to maybe pay her the $130,000 hush payment to keep her quiet about the sex you've had with her?
Well, first of all, I said I want to date her. There's nothing wrong with the father having attraction to his daughter. In fact, it's in the Bible, and I think that's a nasty, unnecessary question, but she is hot. But I'm not going to stand for this terrible line of questioning.
Well, it appears we've lost him. This has been the Dollemore Daily. I'm Jesse Dollemore, and for Donnie Trump, be genuine and take care of one another.